very warm welcome from all of us at Market Access Consulting from the B2B Growth Essentials program. And most of you may know me or have interacted with me, but I will just start with a brief introduction. I'm Suhasini Kirloskar. I'm the founder of Market Access Consulting. I'm the B2B Growth Essentials program guru. So this program is a powerful and intense learning journey over 6 sessions. We usually conduct this on Saturdays. We have a cohort starting this Saturday, 14 January. It covers all the marketing and sales strategies and techniques which are essential for B2B business growth. And to give you a very quick background about this, and myself, before I started Market Access Consulting, which is almost 7 years ago, I was chief of marketing at GS Lab, which is an IT services company. And before that, I was with a British government department called UK Trade and Investment at that time, now called Department for International Trade. So this experience gave me a chance to consult and observe from startups to small to mid-sized companies in the UK, the USA, the UAE, and India. I advise businesses which are from various sectors like technology, like software, and high-tech AI-based products, data analytics, as well as industrial products now, and consulting service organizations. So that is my background. So I really thought about what holds back a B2B business from growing. I found that in most cases, it was that, the company is founded because of the founders have certain expertise, and they also have a network of contacts. And with that, the business reaches a certain size. Now that size could be, for some people, under 1 crore, it could be 1 to 10 crore, 5 crore, for some people 10, 15 crore. And then many businesses remain kind of at that revenue for a very long time. This is something I've observed quite a lot. Okay. So basically what is lacking at that time is a structured and strategic approach to sales and marketing. And that is why I created the B2B Growth Essentials program. So with the confidence that what we discussed during that program, the strategies and techniques that we discussed, you can apply right away in your business, and you will definitely see results. And our participants are confirming that to us, day in and day out. Okay. So with this background about myself and our program, let me get started on the session for today, which is about smart ways to generate leads given the business and market realities of 2023. I would welcome you all to discuss with questions and comments. I may not be able to see the comments. Disha, I would request you to either through your voice or by a comment in Zoom, let me know about participant questions, because I am not able to see comments live sometimes. Okay.
Yes, I'll do that, sir.
Okay. So to get started, the objective of today's session is to give all of you friends here on LinkedIn who have joined us some specific points to get leads, relevant leads, and those leads that convert to sales for this year, given the market realities and the new ways of doing marketing in 2023. So let the points that we discussed today guide your sales and marketing activities in 2023. Okay. So before I kind of share my slides and start talking about these 4 points, let's start by discussing the bigger picture. Let's look at what's happening in the world. So the prospects for businesses in 2023 look extremely mixed. There are a number of crises which are happening all over the world. In fact, some people say we are going through a poly crisis. That is, there are so many different crises, more than what humanity has ever dealt with at one time. There is the ongoing Ukraine war, which has led to skyrocketing energy prices in the West. And there is high inflation. Possibly we are looking at another wave of COVID. So with these kind of crises, there may be a lot of consumers who have less money to spend. And as a result, that would impact a number of businesses. But, and I'm going to start sharing my slides now. So On the other hand, the picture for 2023 may not be that gloomy for B2B businesses. In fact, a Forbes magazine article says 2023 is a pivotal year for B2B marketing. And there are so many new technologies. There is a lot of stuff happening in data, in technologies like AI, in drones, and analytics, and other areas like sustainability that will drive the surge in these areas. The great march of technology and development in these areas will drive demand and will drive B2B marketing and budgets. So actually, for your business and my business, 2023 may not be such a gloomy year after all. Okay. So there are also a lot of opportunities out there, right? So there are also a lot of opportunities there. Okay. And that's why it's the era of marketing. Marketing must be smart, must be consistent, and work like a well-oiled machine to generate those leads that convert to sales. So and that's why today we are discussing smart ways of lead generation in 2023. And in order to take this discussion further, we need to understand how B2B purchase decisions are made. Okay, so as we know, some of us know this, the buyer's journey may start before she engages with your brand. Okay, she has already done some research and so on. The lead can come at any stage in that journey. We will see that. And that's why while we say everything is measurable, digital marketing, everything is measurable, but tracking where a lead comes from has become more complex. And let's see why that is so. Okay. So we may be able to understand that from this schematic. Now, this is a oversimplified schematic. The actual process which takes place in the buyer's journey is far more complex. But let's say that the organization has a challenge, has a pain point, and defines the need. Now, whatever your product or service is, whether you are, for example, selling training programs, or you're selling digital marketing, or you're selling software solutions or ERP solutions, or you're selling industrial goods, whatever that is, this kind of applies to whatever you're selling. So let's say that the prospect organization that you want to sell to, internally leadership kind of recognizes the challenge, the pain point they're feeling, and defines the need. Now, there is certain managers, a group of managers, or an individual who is tasked with identifying a solution or a vendor or product. What are the activities that this person will take through the journey, which we call the buyer journey? So on the left-hand side of the screen, you see the activities that she may conduct online, and on the right-hand side, you see those that she may conduct in person, or you can call it offline. So for example, maybe she will start with, she comes out from this meeting, they say, look for, say, the next payroll application that we need, or look for a new social media agency we need, whatever, or look for a new, I don't know, some industrial product that we need. Okay. So she will come out from that meeting, and maybe she will start with some Google search. Now, at that time, she may come across your website. She may come across the websites of some of your competitors. And she may not on that very day place inquiries on your website or on the competitor websites, but she may revisit these websites a number of times over the next few hours, days, weeks, and months, or maybe years. So the point I'm trying to make is that the website is there, and this journey is zigzag. It is not linear, and she may revisit it quite often. Now, after this, she may do something like, browse vendor websites, or she may then decide to view some videos on YouTube to gather more information. This is like online. But on the other hand, she may do certain things offline or in person. She may pick up the phone and speak to people that she respects in the industry, or who are considered to be experts. Okay. Now, at that point of time, will that expert refer you? Will that expert suggest your product or solution? That is again a matter of lead generation. Okay. Over the next few days, weeks, months, this same prospect may decide to attend a conference. Now, are you there at the conference? Is your brand there? Are you making a presentation? Will you get the lead at that point? Or, she views something on YouTube. Do you have a good YouTube channel and good videos there? Will you capture the lead there? or then she looks on social media. So she searches for content on LinkedIn, or she even puts a post saying, can anyone recommend me someone good on LinkedIn? Will you capture the lead there? Do you have good content on LinkedIn? So this is the point that, your content and your engagement needs to be at these various important touch points. Okay. What you see on the right hand side, the last few things are the actual buying process, which may be conducted at her office. She may invite vendors and view their presentations. She may want to speak with your other users, say, okay, can you give me reference customers? So she may pick up the phone and call some of them. And then the detailed product and vendor evaluation and commercial discussions, which is the actual buying part. Okay. So, you know, we all have now in this time, we all have websites, we all have LinkedIn pages and so on. But will they perform? Will your social media or your YouTube channel or your webinar capture this lead? How confident are you that each of these touch points will lead the prospect to you and will become a lead to you? You can place your comments. We would love to know your comments. Okay. And with that, we'll come to our first way to capture leads. Yeah, for smarter lead generation in 2023. But do let us know about your confidence that when the buyer for your product or solution goes through this kind of a process, your content and your brand presence is so good that the lead will be definitely lead to you. Okay. Would love to know what you feel. And I'll move on. What you need to do is to map the buyer journey and engage at all the important touch points. Now, it will differ from product category to and service category to from one to the other. For example, in your product or service category, is the YouTube part very important, or is the webinar aspect very important? A white paper is very important. You need to decide, and you need to use that whatever that medium is. You need to make sure that you are engaging at that touch point effectively. Okay, her journey is quite zigzag, but at any point of that journey, she could become a lead for you. You need to decide which are the touch points for your product or service and be effective over there. Your branding, your content marketing has to be effective at those touch points. Yeah. Now we come to, having understood this aspect of buyer journey, we come to our first way of capturing leads from our content. Okay, so this is a very, very powerful strategy. Create content that will perform by answering all the questions you face during the sales cycle. Okay, this is a very powerful content strategy done still by very few brands. Okay, if you know that prospects will generally ask, for example, you offer a recruitment solution, and most of the time people ask you, will your recruitment solution integrate with our HRMS? Now, it could be, will it integrate with our Oracle HRMS or any other HRMS? Then, do you have content on your website which actually answers this question? Okay, this question should be the title of a blog on your website with a well-written answer. Of course, the answer needs to be well-written. Okay, so what do prospects ask you? Now, this is a very powerful content strategy. If your prospects have these questions, then there are many other people out there who have the same questions. Okay. Do you have this list of all the questions that you face during the sales cycle with well-written answers to them? Again, do let us know in the comments. Okay. Now, here are some examples. For example, what does a solution like that cost? How can I reduce attrition of tech talent? Or it could be any other problem, whatever is relevant for you. How does your product compare with XYZ? So in your category, it could be whatever popular product there is. It could be Slack or Jira or whatever, right? Which are the best providers in Mumbai? Are there any reviews available? Now, the reason I have put these questions is because research shows that these are the 5 types of blogs that deliver the maximum sales leads. Okay, the first example is cost. Okay, the second example is problem. I have a specific problem and I want a solution. The third one is comparison. The fourth one is a list, best providers, top solutions, 5 best things to do, 3 things not to do. So that is the fourth one. And the fifth one are reviews. These are the topics that where the blog posts capture the maximum leads. Now, you may ask me that how can I write about cost? For example, if we provide, suppose we provide social media marketing, or we provide, say, we provide positioning strategy, then I'm not going to write a blog post saying, what does a positioning strategy development cost, and say the answer is, 150,000 rupees. That is not the blog post. Okay. Typically, when somebody asks me how much will it cost to develop a positioning strategy, I will say, okay, it depends on this, that. It will depend on what you want, what are your outcomes. It will depend on how long this process takes. And we can approach it in this way or that way. And the cost may be a range from here to here. That is what the blog post is about. So whenever somebody asks about your cost, usually you will say, it depends. In the blog post, you can actually explain that, and you can let people know a range that, okay, for example, if you would like to develop a new website, you could start as low as 25,000 to 50,000. But then if you want these things, plan on at least 50,000 to 150,000. But then if you really want a blog post with all the bells, a website with all the bells and whistles, it will be between, rupees 200,000 to 300,000. So that could be what your blog post is about. And these kind of blog posts actually capture a lot of leads, because anyone who is looking to develop a new website is actually going to be looking for this information. So list all the questions you come across during the sales cycle and answer them on your website. The answers could be by way of blog posts. They could be by way of any other kind of content, okay, like a PDF download or videos. Make sure those pages are optimized with the correct keyword and SEO optimization techniques like headers, meta descriptions, title tags, and so on, so that Google will serve your pages when the prospect is searching. We already saw how the prospect is searching, and that's why this is a very powerful content strategy.
Suhasini, there is a question.
Yeah.
By one of the viewers, and I've put it on the chat as well. That we're doing B2B marketing of SaaS IoT tech to growth industries like electric vehicles. What do you recommend? Should we hire a marketing?
So the answer to that is no, don't hire a marketing resource, work with Market Access Consulting. That's us. So we discussed that you need all this content written to answer all these questions. Now here is something that is again very important in 2023. Can ChatGPT write this content for you? Okay. So what's going on Google or on LinkedIn and other social channels? Bots can write now, like ChatGPT, and bots are reading. Algorithms are deciding what to show. So that means that bots are reading. So what does it mean? It means bots will write, bots will read. And what should we do? We should just like lie on the beach under a coconut tree. Yeah, maybe. No, so actually, the thing is that we write blogs because basically blogs are an SEO strategy. We write blogs so that Google will serve that blog to somebody who's searching. And we saw that the person will search on Google and in various ways over some days, weeks, months, and we need to capture the lead. That is why we write all these blogs. Now, we've all seen in the last 1 month so much of hype over ChatGPT, and almost all of us have tried it. And we have seen, yes, it can write content. So what happens if I just get ChatGPT to write 50 blogs and put them up on my website? So at the moment, experts are still not very clear whether this will help your website to show on Google, which means it will help your search engine optimization, or it will negatively impact or hamper your search engine optimization. Experts are trying to examine this question. See, it's very clear that Google and Google's algorithms will be able to identify that this text is written by AI. That is pretty clear. AI will be able to recognize that this text is written by AI. Now, will Google still rank your website high if most of the text is written by AI? That part is still not very clear. So until we have clarity, be careful. Okay. And my suggestion is ensure that the content you publish is high quality, makes a lot of sense. That means that don't just give ChatGPT some keywords and take whatever comes from there and just push it out. Make sure there is good amount of human value add to that, so that when your visitor comes to that page, there is something of value to them. And if that's the case, then there is more likelihood that Google will actually show your page. So if you are going to push out substandard content just because it is stuffed with keywords, it's written by ChatGPT, whether it makes sense or not, you're pushing it out, there is a good chance that your search rankings may actually be negatively impacted. While there is no clarity, and I have been reading even as of yesterday what experts are saying about how Google will rank ChatGPT content, but the suggestion is that still make sure there is some human creativity and human discretion in that, and publish high quality content, because Google wants to deliver the best web pages that answer the search query of their visitors. Okay. And take people to pages which are adding value. Yeah. And keep reading about how ChatGPT will impact search rankings over the next few days, because this is a new question that we're looking at and the answer will change. So after browsing a few websites, the potential buyer will continue to gather information on social media like LinkedIn or view videos on YouTube. Let's look at our second point for smart lead generation. Okay, so let's talk about the second point for smart lead generation through all these touch points is create memorable content. Okay, so what I see is in B2B marketing right now, people are putting in efforts and are pretty consistently publishing content on platforms like LinkedIn and others. But the challenge is that a lot of B2B content from different vendors in the same category, it all looks very similar. We are all playing safe. When it comes to colors, we say, let's go with blue or gray. When it comes to images, we say, let's go with stock photos. We show people working in an office. I think today, if there was a psychologist, and I'm not a psychologist, but I think if a psychologist was to conduct an experiment, I'm pretty sure this would be a finding that our brains have now developed a very subtle filter. And we know a stock image. For example, this photo here is a stock image, right? Something in your mind will tell you this is a stock image. If this was an image of me doing a training or something, it would tell you, oh, okay, so Suhasini is doing something here. We have developed this very subtle filter, and soon we are glossing over. The stock image is required. There is some design element, there is some visual appeal. We like to see a face, so we are putting them here and there. But they are actually, if you look at 50 websites who have used stock images from Shutterstock, then to our mind, it's telling us, yeah, same. But on the other hand, buyers today want to engage with brands which are innovative and authentic. Okay. So that brings us to the point that if you want your content to perform across all those touch points that we saw and capture the lead at all these different touch points, then 2023 is the year to up our creativity. B2B marketers need to up our creativity. We have achieved consistency. We are posting on LinkedIn 2 times a week, 3 times a week, 4 times a week. We are adding blogs to our website. We are doing this stuff. This is the year to stand out from the clutter by adding creativity. You may want to experiment with stories or humor or animation or music, different formats that will help you to break the clutter. And if you are in a business which has a strong visual component, for example, if you are in real estate, or if you are in, in architecture, if you have an architecture firm or a construction firm or a design firm, then you could look at formats like Facebook Reels, Insta Reels, which are also extremely popular and also very effective today. Okay. I'd like to mention one point here, that while we would like to measure the effectiveness of every marketing channel, and I think I mentioned this, it becomes quite challenging because someone may view your reel or your lovely a creative post on LinkedIn, you may think, oh, I didn't get any lead from there. But they may actually remember your brand, and they may visit your website, and they may place the inquiry on your website, or they may not. They may actually then do something else and place the inquiry there. So it becomes quite difficult to track where the lead comes from, but you need to be at all these important touch points. And research has shown that in 2022, the largest source of traffic for websites was direct. In Google Analytics, this is shown as direct traffic. That means that someone was looking for market access consulting and put the URL of market access consulting and came to my website. That is direct traffic, which means that your website traffic depends on the brand awareness and brand presence that you've created across different channels. You met somebody at a trade show, you shook hands with them, you handed over your visit card, they can see the URL, your website address there, and they have typed that and come to your website. So that's direct traffic. So traffic to the website is not just about your Google ads or your SEO, but a lot of it is about your brand building on other platforms. That's what the research shows. So our third, great rule for 2023 to generate leads, and this is something which is working great for many of our clients: amplify through association. Okay, you can get wide visibility for your social content without spending. Okay, so you may have heard of influencer marketing, which in the B2C sectors, we see that people who are popular, who have a lot of followers on channels like YouTube or Instagram, they are, brands pay them money to endorse them or to somehow promote their brand. But in B2B marketing, we can do a kind of influencer marketing, but a smart and subtle influencer marketing without spending money. And again, as I said, working very effectively for some of our clients. Okay. So how do we do that? So you can revitalize your social channels. Don't just keep on creating content, pushing content alone. Have more associations, collaborations, shake hands with more people. Okay, revitalize your social channels. You can invite guest speakers, you can invite guest bloggers, you can call somebody on your LinkedIn and do a Zoom call that is streamed live on LinkedIn Live or on YouTube. You can address webinars, seminars jointly. So seek out industry leaders, seek out maybe authors, seek out some of your customers and prospects. Collaborate with those with a strong social presence. Okay, and they don't need to endorse your product. I'm not saying they have to come there and say, oh, this product is great. But what happens is you are creating a strong brand association. For example, if I have, say, a very well-known IT company as my client, and their chief of marketing was, if they were on this, for example, LinkedIn Live, or if I do another webinar with such a person, that person doesn't need to say, oh, Suhasini has all the answers and, she's the greatest consultant out there. But people start associating, Suhasini talks to this kind of person in this kind of company. That brand association is created. So you don't have to ask for endorsement, but invite people for a discussion. They also like to showcase their expertise, their thought leadership, and many of them will accept such invitations. Okay. One of the companies that I work for, we had, our social posts on LinkedIn, they were getting generally engagements, 10, 20 engagements. We had a kind of an event where we were able to invite the managing director of a limited company, like a large company, a listed company, to speak about his perspectives. We published that post, on YouTube, and a link of that YouTube video on LinkedIn, and that post got some 300 to 400 engagements. Our brand presence, our LinkedIn page followers, everything increased substantially without spending anything. Okay, so that is the kind of thing that we need to do this year, because we saw in the first part that we need to be effective on all touch points. People need to find us. People need to know our brand. We saw that traffic comes direct. So growing the brand presence, growing brand awareness is important. And this is one thing that we have found is effective. It increases your numbers, like actual numbers of engagement, followers, and so on. It increases your brand, the brand perception. It takes it up. It takes it up by several notches. Yeah. When you have such a session like a LinkedIn Live or a webinar, and you see the attendees of the session, people who register and so on, those people, you know that this topic is of interest to them. So the people today, for example, who have joined us on this LinkedIn Live, when we see your profile, we know that lead generation in 2023 is important for you. And some of you may become leads for us, for our training work, for our consulting work. And similarly, you can do the same thing by inviting great speakers or writers to your social channels. So what we saw till now was more on the content aspect, more on the inbound aspect. People will find our content, but we can't just wait for people to find us. So we also need to do outbound well. In 2023, smart lead generation also means to do outbound well. Okay. Yes, it's 2023, and you might think, why are we talking about outbound? So what is outbound? Outbound is like email marketing, or calling, which we call telecalling, or we call appointment setting. I prefer to call it appointment setting. Some people call it inside sales. So why are we talking about email marketing and appointment setting, telecalling in 2023? Some people may think that this is the oldest trick in the book. So from the time that we had email, I mean, before that, we were doing marketing, direct mail marketing, like sending letters and so on. From the time that email has been around, email marketing has been around. So it's the oldest thing in the entire digital marketing, arsenal. So why are we talking about it today? Isn't it like way outdated? However, the reason I'm talking about it is because email marketing still works. Outbound marketing still works. And we are finding these results regularly, consistently for our clients. Now, the point is, it doesn't always work in isolation. It's often with, oh, there's a very nice question. I'll just take it up after this. Yeah. Email marketing doesn't give great results if you do only email, but when we do email in conjunction with well done, well executed calling, we are finding great results, like fantastic results, consistent lead generation and business growth, actual business growth, leads that convert to sales. And this is what we're finding for some of our clients who have big ticket projects, and I'm talking about projects which are in crores of rupees, yeah, like tens of millions of rupees. So yeah, so you do need to do outbound well. And what I find lacking when it comes to outbound is the point I've put here, which is a very important point for generating leads in 2023. Invest in quality databases. This is the part of outbound that gets neglected. Okay. So let's look at this. So creating high quality emailers is important, but to get results, really good databases are also required, and they're required on a regular basis. If you have a database of contacts, okay, you need accurate and suitable databases, those that match your ideal customer profile, and those which have the correct email address, correct phone number, correct name, designation, organization, of course. Okay. Now, these are required consistently. So you can't say that, oh, I have some 5,000 people in my CRM, and the whole year I will do my email and telecalling with them. That does not work. That causes outbound results to go low. So for smart lead generation in 2023, you use a database, and you have to realize that some fatigue sets in. So you do 2 or 3 rounds of mailers to them, and then you just put them on a different track. Those who opened the mailer, it's a different track. Those who didn't open the mailer, maybe you just send them a newsletter once in a quarter. Okay. But then you need to say, okay, to generate so many leads, I do need 5,000 database every month or every quarter or every whatever 6 months. And so you need to invest in those. Now, how do you invest in those? Now, the answer depends on which territory you are targeting. So if you are targeting international territories, the way of collecting and using databases has to be different. If you're targeting India, the way of collecting and targeting databases is different. Okay. So the reason for this is because internationally, there are laws in place that prevent you from buying a database and simply sending a mailer or calling them. So you may all have heard of GDPR, which is one of the first laws in this area that was enacted in Europe first. It's the General Data Protection Regulation that prevents people from actually just purchasing a database and sending an email and calling, and companies can face hefty fines for doing this. Now, similar laws to GDPR are being enacted in many different markets. I know that Singapore has something similar. America, it's going state by state, with California being one of the first states to enact such a law. So internationally, how do you do this? So the way to do it is you have to first capture the data. So for example, you publish a good white paper or an ebook, you run a Google ad campaign, people come to the landing page of your ebook or white paper, they want to read it, they download it. To download it, they have to provide their email address, and they also have to say, yes, I'm open to receiving communication from you. That is that they have given you permission to contact them. It's also called permission marketing. It's also called subscriber database. Okay. And internationally, you can legally contact people if you have captured the database using this method. In India, we are still able to purchase a high quality database, and there are some high quality databases available for purchase, and you can actually then use those. It is not yet illegal, and there is no major financial problem or what should I say, risk of doing that. Okay, so you can try that in India. Okay, and those are my 4 points today morning for smart lead generation in 2023. I would love to take questions. I'm confident that if you allow these 4 points to guide your sales and marketing in 2023, you will see a consistent uptick in your all your metrics across all channels. So what if our products need more visualization? We want to express how our solutions can help clients. See, what happens is typically this would be there somewhere in the product section of your website, I'm imagining, and it should be there. But you can also look at it in a different way. Now, I don't know what this product is. I don't know what the product category is. But if your product requires visualization, so it is, say, I don't know, it's an enterprise application and it requires, say, a schematic. But then you also need to start thinking, what are the questions in the during that you face during the sales cycle? It could be questions related to, you know, what does it take to implement this product? How long does it take to implement this product? What is the change management like? It could be related to, does it integrate with our existing solutions? So those are the questions in the minds of your prospects. So do answer them, because when you answer them, there are going to be other prospects out there who have the same questions, and they will find the answer, and they will become a lead for you.
We have a comment here from Neha, who is appreciating the valuable insights. And she says, I especially love the point where you explain why it is important to have creative content in 2023.
Thank you, Neha. Yes, that's right. Yeah, we cannot decide that we are in B2B marketing, so we will just, publish factual information. We'll just use very limited color palette. We will just use stock images. We'll just play safe. As I said, brands today consumers want to engage with brands which are innovative and authentic. Now, who are consumers? B2B organizations. Finally, it's the leaders who make decisions. It's the managers who make decisions, who are human. And they also want to engage with brands which are innovative and authentic. And we need to stand out from our competition. So do experiment with creativity in 2023. This is the year to do that, because I think we've all come to a certain standard of consistency. What we need to add is creativity. How do you, okay, there's a question. How do you differentiate your messaging offering in cold email reach out programs? Well, whether it's in cold email or it's in any other way, the question is, how is your offering differentiated? I mean, the fact that you are in business means that, I'm sorry, my kitten is a little hyper right now. He's just come back from the doctor. Yeah. So sorry, pardon me that. He's also not well. Okay. So how do you differentiate your messaging or offering in cold email reach out programs? Okay. It's a very good question. Yes, because again, it will happen that in B2B marketing, an email coming from a particular provider will be so similar to that coming from another particular provider. So I would say this, first of all, the fact that you are in business is because you have something different to offer. Okay. You know that the client can get, the buyer can get all this from others, but is not getting something which I am offering. That's why you are in business. So you need to find ways to communicate that. That's one. Uh, and that is true whether it is your website or your social channels or your outreach. Outbound content. And the second thing is that we talked about creativity. So you need to find ways to do this creatively, whether it's to do with, the latest trends, what everyone is talking about, riding on those trends, whatever. You need to find ways to do it creatively. A great design of the mailer. And of course, you need to personalize. Personalization is essential also. What are the best ways to find lead partners or consultants for your solutions? Is this related to people who will be experts on your social channels? Is that what this is about? Amplify, is this about the amplification part? Or lead partners or consultants for your solution? Or is this about finding implementation partners?
Just give them a minute to see.
Yeah. So implementation partners, see, in our program, which I discussed, our 6-week program, one of the modules, which is a 3-hour session, is about channels and ecosystems. So we discuss actually how to find partners, and there are many different kinds of partners in B2B. Some are sales partners, resellers, some are implementation partners, some are knowledge partners. So we do discuss that, how to find them. And the way to do that is to identify what would be that ideal profile of partner for you, create a win-win value proposition, and then do a systematic outreach for them. So I hope that answer is helpful.